Hello, ladies and gents. YouTube just activated hard mode for all of us, but I ain't backing down from a challenge. Um, just means that a few of my priorities will have shifted. But this is not what this video is about. This video is about me and getting to making my own game. Yes, as I've said it before, I am trying to make my own video game with zero talent, no drawing skills, no music skills, and no programming skills. And here's so far what I have been able to do. Let's start off by getting off from my where I left off from my video game making journey. So starting off, I completed GD Quest. I finished their little coding tutorial for their programming language. Excuse me. And yeah, it was nice. It gave me a few tips. I didn't understand everything, but I did it. I did it. After completing it, I decided to keep going on with the documentation, and then I noticed that there is a substantial amount of reading, and I said, I ain't doing that. I'm not gonna read a bunch of stuff that I don't understand to begin with, and yeah, I don't I'm not gonna do that. I don't like reading that much. All right, I just don't like reading. All right, screw it. Like I don't like it's boring. So I decided to go straight into their game making tutorial, which it starts you off with a 2D game. Not bad, not bad. 2D games are relatively easy to make. I hope, at least compared to 3D games, because yeah, maybe one day I'll be able to make some 3D games. But let's start with 2D. 2D is the way to start. And to start things off with their tutorial, we started off by adding the player model and its hitboxes and the collision box. Then we added input controls and tested it to see if the player is able to move. And it worked. It was nice. It was actually kind of a little fun to see little squiddy here, just floating about in the screen. So now we move on to adding enemies. We shoved in some sprite animations for them, and then added hitboxes and collision boxes for them as well. And yeah, that was pretty simple enough. So we move on to the next thing. It was time to add the main scene. And the main scene, what it does, if I understand correctly, is it ties everything together. Like, the menu, the HUD, and the levels. It just everything that you see on screen, it puts the models in and all that stuff. So it does that for you. And yeah, the main scene is pretty much important. From what I understand, at least that's what the main scene does. It's what you see on screen. So here on the main screen, we added the spawn location for the enemies, the little enemy squids. I'm not sure why you have to draw a path, but I don't claim I don't understand anything. I mean, I don't. I thought you just put some points, but hey, they decided that you draw a path for spawning an enemy. So that's what I did. I drew a path following the tutorial along the edges of the screen, of the game screen, and yeah, there we go. There that was where the enemies were gonna spawn from. Then we had to add a HUD. HUDs are very important. Unless you're playing a cinematic immersive game, you need a HUD. So we proceeded to add a scoreboard, which is basically just a timer, I think, of how long you can survive or how many dodges. It wasn't too very clear on what it was, but yeah, it was just a timer that I'm assuming it tracks how long you stay alive, which would make sense. And we also added a game start and game over screen so that when you die, it says game over. Pretty easy as that, and to be able to start the game. So let's test it. see if it works. After adding all this stuff, we tested it to see. Well, I tested it to see if it worked, and it did not work. I don't know if it's probably my noob coding or whatever. I don't know what's going on, but it's not working. So I went back to the code of my scripts because that's what you have to do. You see if there's any errors that pops up in the console screen. I tried to eliminate all the errors I could find. Also, any duplicate code because I'm an idiot. I didn't I any duplicate functions or duplicate codes so that it works properly. Because I had duplicate functions because I'm an idiot. I don't know what any of these is. I'm not a programmer. I don't know if it could have duplicate or not. Like just after doing that, I tested again and ran the project, and it didn't work. It didn't work. Like what am I doing wrong? What's going on? Why is it doing that? Like everything's scrunched up in the top corner of the screen. So if I test the scene, it works. Just the scene. If I playtest the scene, it works. But if I run the project, it doesn't work. It just scrunched in the corner. And then after going back to tutorial and scouring around, finally I figure out that I just needed to make the main scene of the project. Little noob here. Just, just make the main thing and it'll work. God, so stupid. So it's working. Great. I can move around, dodge some enemies, and even die. But my timer's not working. It's not working. It's not keeping score of how long I'm dodging these creeps. So I decided to go around and check the code again because honestly, I decided is I mean, what am I supposed to do? Like freaking pray or throw stones at it? Anyways, I checked the code again, made sure that I remove whatever little mistakes I had in the code, like extra indents or duplicate code. I didn't see any of that, but I did it. All right, I tried to fix the code. Clean it up a little bit, see if it worked, and it didn't work. So I checked the code again, and it went on for a few days because I only have, at the time of learning this thing, I only had a handful of minutes every day to do this. So, troubleshooting is not exactly a fun thing to do, especially when you do not have time to troubleshoot. After reviewing the tutorial, following step by step to make sure I've done things right, I notice this. I didn't put the update timer in the proper function. Does this happen to anybody else, like any of you new programmers, or is just this a noob thing? I just needed to drag the code for the timer into the proper function. And then voila, there it is. It works. I have a timer. It counts how long I'm surviving while dodging these creeps. I swear. So I had another issue, is that I had a game over screen. The tutorial said that I'm supposed to have one after I die, but it's not popping out. It's just it just gets stuck and it doesn't reload. So here I am. I'm gonna have to go back into the code and check everything because that means I didn't do something properly yet again. This happens a lot as a noob, but at least there's a tutorial to follow and figure it out. And yeah, I I look over the code. I'm guessing that's what all programmers do all the time. Is they just read code all the time. Is I look over it and I compare it to the tutorial, as I should, because yeah, I need to do that. And here it is. Here it is. Yet another dumb mistake. I put the game over function in the wrong scene. I put it in the player scene when it should be in the main scene. So I transferred it to the main scene, and then I tried to make it work. And then I tried testing it, and it still didn't work because I forgot the signal. The signal was tied to the player scene function, and I had to tie it to the main scene function, game over function. So now I have two signals on the sidebar. I don't know how to remove the first one. It just doesn't really matter. It works anyways now. So yeah. So I tested it and yeah, it works. It works. Game over. There you go. Get hit by an enemy, you die. Game over. And then the game restarts and you could play start and play again. Fun time. Ah, it feels great. So here I was, made a functional game for the first time in my entire life. It works. You could actually play it. So the tutorial wanted me to add some polish to the game, like a little background, some music, a little sound effect when you die. You know, small stuff, not too crazy, not too important. You just drag and drop, and it works. But I just didn't want to change the background to a different color. I wanted it to make something. I mean, it's easy enough. So I decided to make my own background of pine trees. Why pine trees? I grew up making pine trees because I live in freaking Canada. So that's literally that's not our national tree. It's the maple leaf, but there we have a lot of pine trees here too. So made a pine tree and then slapped it in, and yeah, there you go. So and yeah, here is the final results of all the hard work, and here is my game. Beautiful. It just bleeds right into your eye, that background. Feels good. Feels good. To be fair, the game is not 100% my own. I did follow a tutorial to make it, so it's technically somebody else's game. I built it like a Lego set, so sort of my own. But that background, 100% mine. So I have my own little flavor to it. So after completing technically my first game, I wanted to complete my own game that's 100% mostly, I'm not going to say 100, but mostly my own, my idea. Uh, mm, okay, maybe not my code, but at least my own idea, and how to put the puzzle, of these functions together. So little little bit more my own, not 100%, but inching for more and more to my own assets, my own code ish. So yeah, I decided that my game will be like yeah, I decided to make my own game where you just jump over spikes. You didn't have to move left or right. You just just jump over it. You press one button. It's simple enough. You think that's easy to code, but little spoiler alert, I find out that's not the case. So I started by creating my player asset, which I called them Square Boy. I know, real original. Can it even be? Did it even have a gender? It just goddamn square. Square thingy. Oh, what is it, Luna? This is a little Mm, old girl. Mm, I'll let you out. So I shoved the assets in, added a collision box and some hitbox. Well, some a hitbox, and yeah, there he is. He was ready to go. Also created a spike that square thingy can hit and die to. The quote unquote enemy of this game. So I needed spike thingy to jump up and down, at least give him some physics, and look up the code for that on the Brave search bar, which the AI gave me a code, so I grabbed that, which makes my game technically using AI assets to help me build it. So my game is technically AI, partly. I created a spike asset and also created a floor asset so that the spike thingy can jump on, and created a main scene so it could tie everything together and load all these assets together, and voila, spike thingy jumps. Well, he's a little off screen there. Everything's a little off screen, and he's huge. But let me fix that real quick, and voila, a true masterpiece. All right, so moving on. Um, Little spoiler alert. This is literally where everything went wrong. So, being that Spike Thingy cannot move left or right, at least in the gameplay, he won't be able to do that. So, I figured that the spike would have to come to him. So, I tried to give it physics to slide towards him, and it didn't work at all. Like, the damn freaking AI code's not working. So, I don't know what to do. I'm out of luck here. I'm not a coder. I barely understood how to the GD script lessons, and now here I am trying to slap that in there. So yeah, I couldn't figure that part out. So I decided that what, let's move on. Let's give a hurt box to the spike. Make sure that the spike can actually hurt spike thingy or kill spike thingy. And to do that, I decided that what, let's just give a little movement to spike thingy. WASD, he could move around and jump, and that went well. So yeah, I couldn't get Square Thingy to get hurt and die because I'm starting to realize that I'm missing a lot of stuff from my previous lessons, like those signals and those different types of nodes that I should be using. This is where I had to decide that I do not have enough experience after making one game to make my own game. I was handheld to make that first game, so I decided that I have to unfortunately shelf the project for now and get more experience. And gonna have to go do a lot more tutorials and understand the functions and the codes and the signals and how to tie them all together so that things actually work. Because right now I have no idea how any of this works. Granted, this is going pretty well. I'm assuming, it's going about as well as somebody that has zero talent and zero experience in art, that has zero skills in programming, and I have no skills in music. I have nothing. I am a freaking total noob at this. But yeah, I made something so far. Hopefully, I could actually do something on my own. But you know, I just need more training and more tutorials under my belt. So yeah, moral of the lesson: I have to do a few more tutorials, really grasp the understanding of the signals, and understand my code a bit better, what it does. And yeah, gotta get more experience with Godot. And yeah, in conclusion, this is a good experience. Hopefully you enjoyed my journey into learning how to make my first game. I have not quite made it year. I haven't quite made it there yet. It's gonna take a lot more effort and more work, but I'm not giving up. Not giving up. And yeah. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. You enjoyed this journey, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Peace.